You know we had to talk about it. Recapping the drama and reviewing the chaos, one episode at a time. Let's get into it. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another reality recap and review video with Pam Unfiltered. This is episode 26 of Love Island's USA Season 8. We are still on movie night. The last episode ended, and this is where it picks up, where Melanie has seen Sincere's reel. She is hurt because now it is all in her face, all the things that he's been saying to Soul and what he's been saying to her. And she is tired of him providing and giving these excuses that he chooses her. I didn't say this in the previous video, but she's like, listen, you choosing me is not a motherfucking prize. I don't know how many times she had to say this to him. Respecting me is. Like, what do you not get from that? And the reason why he doesn't understand, because he don't give a fuck. He does not care. Remember, you guys, in that secrets challenge, finding out that he had a girlfriend all the while he was texting other girls. That was her first red flag, and she saw it. Because remember the meme? Now the meme that she got? That was her first red flag from him. She pushed it down. Even I said something about it, which I shouldn't have said, because he has shown that he's still that same person. So after that, we get Corbin's reel. Let's be real here. Corbin doesn't have anything truly serious. Okay, you know, he was with Kenzie, he was with Melanie, now he's with Parmita. Whoopity-doo-dah, zippity-day. All right, y'all, so I'm going to do a couple of freeze frames in this video. When I initially watched it and I was taking notes, I don't know, I felt like the episode was a little boring. It was a little boring, so I didn't take much notes, but as I'm editing it, I was like, you could add a little bit more information. So that's what I'm going to do here on certain scenes. It's not going to be a lot, but it's going to be there. So when they were showing Corbin's package, right? He was having a conversation with Casey. Casey asked him about Kenzie. He was like, honestly, during Casa, I have not thought about Kenzie. We all know Corbin never really liked Kenzie. I think it was just a physical attraction thing. And honestly, it was a conquering thing. When they were at the docks and she was being like very nitpicky, you could tell right after that he was done with her. So as he's saying this, Aniyah's looking at it. She's like, oh, I'm so done with these two. Aniyah, please, you pick and choose who you want to have smoke with. And sometimes it's the smallest things. But you got your friend next to you breaking down because her quote unquote man has been playing her for weeks. And you have so much grace for Sincere for all the bad things he's done to your friend, but you can't have the slightest grace for Corbin and Casey. Girl, bye. So then they show another scene with Casey and Corbin's like, yo, Parmita and TT are like college girls, and the girls in the villa are like high school girls. These villa girls was so offensive. They was like, what are you like 21, 22? And I'm like, oh, here we go. Here we go, baby. It's not about the age. It's about the maturity level. And he's right. Y'all act like a high school clique. And y'all have made the season really hard to watch. And y'all have to admit to yourself. So then after his package, you know, he flat out and he says, listen, I apologize for everything that I did. They not trying to hear it. I think it was Jen telling Corbin, she's like, well, what you said was rude. Yes, was it rude? Maybe he could have said it in a different tone, but that was his truth. And I need sometimes a lot of these people to be a little bit more tougher than what they are. They're very, very sensitive over just the slightest little disdain of tone. It's really not that serious. But then we get Zach coming into the conversation. He's like, y'all are getting on these men, you know, pretending like you guys are perfect. What he said, as you guys being in high school, them being college, you said the same thing to the Casa guys. When I tell you they try so hard to combat what Zach says, but they know they're right. You got Kayda over there talking about, no, we didn't. Yes, y'all did. Yes, y'all did. Y'all said that the Casa boys were more mature than the Villa boys. Like, cut it out. They always want to move the goalposts so they could always be right. They're not right all the time. And this is where the statement that Corbin says is true. They don't take no kinds of accountability whatsoever. But I do have to say this, right? I know I've seen on social media how a lot of people, for some odd reason, are shipping Melanie and Caleb. I don't know where you guys got that from. That's a little weird. I don't know if you guys are looking for a different type of Nicolandria. It's a no. Neither one of these two have interest in one another. What I do like her with, oddly enough, is Corbin. There's something about her and Corbin that just works. And I don't think Corbin will treat her as Sincere would. I really wouldn't. There's just something about a nice friendship, but there's also a sexual relationship there that I really like from these two. But that's just me. So now we get Kenzie's reel, and it shows exactly what she's been doing. How she's been playing two people here, two people here. They show her talking, being coupled with Caleb, telling him that he is her type, even though they're together, and she wants to get to know him because she feels like he's more for her than Corbin. She has much more in common with Caleb than Corbin. She's still over there macking out and making out with Corbin. Did I say that right? I hope I said that right. And also that secret little meeting conversation they had in the dorms and them making out. Everybody's like, ooh, Kenzie, that don't look good. Caleb is over there. You could tell he is pissed, but he's not going to show it. Dylan over there pissed too. He's like, so what she's doing to me and Gaul, she did with Caleb and Corbin. So it's the same story over and over again. And Kenzie is just sitting there. And can I be honest with you? I don't think Kenzie gave a fuck. I don't think she cared. I don't think she cared at all. Maybe she cared about getting caught, but I don't think Kenzie gave a fuck. I really don't. I really, really, truly feel she don't care. So after the wheel, let me get a little sip. Iced coffee at home is the best. So after the reel happens and everybody's like, yo, Kenzie, like, what's going on? You need to explain yourself. She first goes in and she apologized to Caleb. She said, even though I was honest with you, I wasn't fully honest with you about the connection between me and Corbin, and I'm really sorry. Dylan confronts her and says, this is the same story that's happening right now. How do we know that you're really looking for love? Then she goes into this whole explanation. I'm gonna be very honest with you. I didn't care too much about her explanation. What really got me is when she was like, I think of kisses as of handshakes. When I tell you, everyone was like, what? What are you talking about, Kenzie? Like, you view kisses as handshakes? First of all, that's nasty. Because kisses, you're swapping spit, you're swapping DNA with another person. And you doing that with multiple people because you consider a handshake is nasty. Nasty. First of all, I don't think, to me personally, kissing is very, very intimate. And you can't do that with everybody. So for her to consider that as handshake is nasty. It's just disgusting. So, after that, we get another fucking reel from Melanie and Sincere. And this is actually the last reel. And it shows both Casa experiences. Obviously, it shows her with Corey, but not much really happened. They showed the night of recoupling, how he gave her a picnic and she asked for a kiss. That's really all what it was. But it shows everything that Sincere has been doing with Amora in Casa. And what really got Melanie was when he said, why are my hands so sticky? What really got Melanie and really ticked her off is when he told Amora, if I had an extra day, I would choose you. All right, so I'm gonna stop right here, y'all. So after Sincere's package ends, before Melanie can say anything, Amora wants to chime in. And she says, listen, rejection is protection. I don't know who the hell she's talking about. I don't know if she's talking about herself. I don't know if she's trying to throw shade to Melanie or Sincere. I was completely confused as to what she was talking about. But she does look at Melanie. She says, I am happy that you explored. Did she really explore though? Like she had that little date with Corey and she gave a little kiss, but that's really it. You get what I'm saying? So I don't necessarily know if she really explored. But then Sincere starts talking and he goes on and he says, you know, that he wanted to make sure that he fully immersed himself into Casa. The problem is with Sincere is he's not honest about, again, I feel like everybody talks about Sincere not being honest to their blue in the face. Sincere just needed to tell Melanie what he wanted to do. And I'm pretty sure Melanie would have accepted it because she's accepting his bullshit now, right? So when he says that he wants to immerse himself into Casa, this is when Amora says to him, she said, you wanted to fully immerse yourself into Casa, but at what cost to someone else's feelings? So that Melanie wants to chime in. She wants to talk about what she saw in the package. And she's telling him, she was like, if you felt so strongly about Amora, why you didn't choose Amora? Why you didn't continue on to explore her? Which he could have, but let's be real here. He didn't want Amora. He just wanted to have fun with Amora and come back to you. So then you got the guys. I think it was Bryce, and Bryce is trying to support Sincere. And I'm like, you guys, it don't look good that you support him because he's dead wrong. No matter what you say, he was using Melanie's feelings to keep her there while he had fun and play. And he actually is still doing it. And it's really unfair. This girl is sitting across from you guys breaking down and y'all still want to support him. The fact that these guys support Sincere more than they support they support Casey and Corbin gives me racism. I'm sorry, y'all. The two black boys, y'all don't want to support as strongly as Sincere, and Sincere is the worst person in that villa. It's crazy. So then he's having a conversation with Melanie, and you know, Melanie's going in on him about what's been going on. But then he chimes in and he's like, but you were doing things with Corbin. She's like, what did I do with Corbin? And he's talking about the challenge. She's like, that was the challenge. She's like, listen, you're not going to play that over here. You're not going to play no goddamn victim because you're not a victim at all. And I was like, oof. That is not a good look, Sincere. Sincere, you straight up need to take accountability for all the things that you did to that girl and just try, if you know she want to take you back. So just try to have a conversation with her to see if she'll get back with you or she'll give it another shot. You playing victim over a challenge she did second week is crazy. And me personally, what I feel like he's been punishing her because Melanie did that to him in a challenge. Melanie goes, so why didn't you choose her? If you felt that you had a strong connection, that you only need one more day, why did you not choose her? He's like, because I wanted you. She goes off on him. She says, you continue to do what you do and think I'm going to be here to pick you up or to accept you back. You got me out here looking stupid. You got me out here looking like a fool. She was going in on him and he could not say anything. She was just breaking down. She said, you said you were going to fix it. Fix it. And I was like, hold on, Melanie. This man's dirty laundry was just put on display for you to see. This is where you should have ended it. This is where I try my heart that I don't have sympathy for her, because that statement told me no matter what he has done, even though she's sitting there crying and screaming at him, no matter what he did, she's still gonna take him back. If you say you're gonna fix it, fix it. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I don't want you to fix nothing. We're done. She cries and she storms off. Aniyah goes and chases her. And she's like, he out here making me look like a fool, but you as well. You as well, you make yourself look out like a fool, because there's been plenty of people that have told you what he's been doing and you dismissed it. Remember I said in my previous video, 2 videos before, when she was speaking to Amora, when she asked Amora were they sexually intimate, because that was her line. That was her line where he couldn't come back to her. So after that movie night ends, everybody disperses. Melanie is in her confessionals, I believe, or she's talking to Aniyah. And even though this man hasn't embarrassed her for the umpteenth time, she's still bigging him up. She still bigs him up. So after their conversation, she wants to be left alone. Aniyah comes downstairs. The guys are sitting in that three-tiered couch, whatever the hell that thing is. And she comes up to Casey in a kind of a aggressive kind of way. And she goes, Casey, I want to apologize for you. I shouldn't have gotten to your face. And I'm like, that's how you say it? You don't want to maybe pull him to the side and apologize to him? Okay, girl. So then we get the guys talking about Kenzie and how she just did not look good in that reel. What did Dylan says? Dylan says he likes her, but the problem is he believes she tells that to everyone as a game. Duh. Won't you ask them how many people she was with in this motherfucking villa? It was Zach. It was Sean. It was Corbin. It was Caleb. It was you. And it was Gall. These are her connections. And every single one of them she's made out with. Take Zach out of it. She said she has misled every other person. So yeah, what she's saying to you is not true. She's really playing a game. All right, so what I forgot to talk about in this scene was what Corbin said to Sincere. So, they're getting on him about the package they saw and what he's been doing with Melanie and how he needs to be honest. And Corbin told him straight up, he's like, you might have to sleep in soul ties. He did not sleep in soul ties. Melanie slept in soul ties with Mr. Owl. I'm telling y'all, this dude is diabolical. Diabolical. He is something else. She's really playing the game. So Aniyah confronts Kenzie and says, girl, what you did in that video, was not a good look. And what you did to Caleb was fucked up. And she says, you're right. Caleb didn't deserve that, what I did to him. And he didn't. I felt bad for Caleb. I don't understand why there has yet to be somebody to come in for Caleb. And another thing too, there wasn't a lot of bombshells that came in and out this villa. Is it just me? A lot of people have not come in and out of this villa, which is wild. Because I really think Caleb, hold on guys, I don't want this on my shirt. I really would have liked somebody for Caleb. He's a very, very nice person from what we've seen. And to have connections with people and it not working out. Because even Jessica Alba don't even like him. So after that, we get Zach and Kayda. They're arguing about the same shit over and over. Remember, she's upset because she finds out that Alana left early and she still wants to know would he would have chosen her if she stayed. I do not give a fuck. I really don't. Because at the end of the day, this girl is still going to accept everything that he's going to say. And that's exactly what she's in the scene. And they made out and they did a whole bunch of stuff in the bed. I don't care. So then we get Aniyah and Carl. He wants to check on her, see how she's doing after that home blown up or during movie night. She says she's okay. But she apologized obviously to Casey about her blow up, but she really doesn't want him to let him know that that's not who she usually is. This was just a high stressful environment. And she reacted to someone she thought was into her, really disprove it, which to me, he did not disprove, but whatever. So then after that, we get everybody going to bed and the lights turn out. Now, mind you guys, while they're still up after movie night, Dylan has been talking constantly about Kenzie and all her lies and stuff like that. And what was he doing in bed with her? He was making out with her. So at this point, are you using her to get a little bit of a head, or are your feelings truly conflicted? Because it's giving me you playing the game now. So now we get Corbin, Caleb, and Casey having a chat in the morning. They talk about what happened during movie night, and was saying like, that was a lot. It was draining. Casey says, he feels really bad, and he really needs to apologize to Aniyah. Have like the final conversation with her. Caleb actually talks about Jessica Alba, and he feels like their getting to know each other has plateaued. And he says he puts more into getting to know her than vice versa. And I'm like, you calling Caleb, she's not feeling you anymore. What you gonna do? I say go for Amora, but that's just me. Do you like a little milk chocolate? If you like a little milk chocolate, I think Amora will be great for you. She's beautiful. She's smart. She's sweet. You're a very, very good person. You're a gentleman. You're not aggressive, from what we see. If you don't have a racist bone in your body, or people who are around you that racist because you are from North Carolina that live in South Carolina, I say go for Amora. She live in Atlanta. It's not that far off. I'm just saying. So Kenzie talks about Kayda. Kenzie talks to Kayda about her reel on Corbin and Caleb, and I don't care. I don't give a shit. So now we get Aniyah and Sincere. I'm trying to remember who pulled who for chat. I think it was Aniyah pulling him for a chat. And she tells him, she says, listen, last night reels were not a good look, and I'm very disappointed in you. And he agrees. And he apologizes to her, saying that he's sorry for not sticking up for her when she wasn't around. And I get that as well, because but he kind of did to me. You know what I mean? He didn't full blown do it, but when Casey was going on his little rant about her, she's on her last leg or whatever, and he's like, well, how do you feel about if you on the last leg with her? You know what I'm saying? But he could have did a little bit more, just a little bit more. But he was there speaking somewhat on her behalf. So then she says that she feels like, and everybody else feels like, that he's been playing everyone in the villa. And he has, because literally, y'all, he said one thing to Melanie, he said one thing to Soul, he said one thing to the guys, said one thing to the ladies, and said one thing to us. And remember what he said in one of the episodes, he said, I tell the truth, but I don't tell the whole truth. So yeah, he was lying to the whole villa. And then she goes and says, Melanie is on her last straw. Melanie should have been done with the last straw. Melanie should dump his ass in the next conversation. She should not be giving him any more chances. But again, her threshold, her line is if he done some sexual, so she forgive everything else. Even embarrassing her on national TV during movie night, where everything is exposed. I mean, we all seen it. We've seen it from the beginning. But now that everybody knows, everybody in the villa knows exactly what he was doing. Sincere is like, he's gonna do better. He always says that. Honestly, his words don't have any weight to them anymore. They haven't had weight to them for a very long time, but now that everybody sees that what he was doing, his words don't hold any weight. Now it's time for actions. That's what it is. I'll never understand why people really accept words. I need to see action. That's what matters. So now we get a conversation with Bryce and Melanie. Bryce is checking up on Melanie to see how she's doing. It's only been a couple of hours since Casa. She says, I don't know how I feel about today. Last night was definitely a surreal moment. Bryce explains to her, he says, listen, you are valid in your feelings and how you're valid in your feelings, and take as much time that you need, not really, to process what's been going on. And pretty much Sincere needs to show her now his actions and not his word, because everything that was shown on that screen, his words mean nothing and holds absolutely no weight. During the conversation with Bryce, it proves that whatever Sincere does to her outside of sexual things, she's always going to forgive him. I mean, it's nice to say nice things about someone, but in this very moment, he's been playing you for weeks. And honestly, it really outweighs the positive about him. So she goes, oh, he's a really, really good person. And she's glad that she has seen what he has been doing. What does that mean, Melanie? Does that mean you're just going to take some time to process it and then you're going to forgive him? Is that what it means? Girl, you got to do better. You're too beautiful for that. You too beautiful for that. The amount of men that's in your DMs when you get back is crazy too. I wouldn't be surprised. A couple of basketball players, a couple of football players is all up in there as well. Like, come on, girl. He is not it. So now the evening, we have a conversation between Kenzie and Dylan. Kenzie apologizes to Dylan again for making him feel bad about her back and forth with Gaul, but she realizes that there's nothing with Gaul and she wants to be all in with him. He's happy, and that's the end of them. So now we get the final conversation between Casey and Aniyah, and this is the conversation that should have been had. Aniyah finally shuts the fuck up and allows Casey to talk. Casey apologized to Aniyah, and he apologizes for standing up during movie night. He's sorry for all the things that he said to her. She accepts it. He feels really, really bad. He says, you know, when they were showing him the things that he was doing, it was really, really cringy to him. He couldn't believe that he says those things, and he really has to think before he speaks. And he really does. Don't get me wrong. We're not perfect. We can't stop every time. We can't stop and think about what we want to say, because sometimes our emotions take over and we're going to say how we feel. You know what I mean? And if it does offend someone that we love, then we just have to take accountability and apologize for it. And hopefully they'd accept the apology and they can get past it. But for the most part, just be a little bit mindful about the things that you're about to say, for the most part. So she accepts his apology. They say they're good, and they go on their merry way. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. So we get the final conversation of the night, and it is Sincere and Melanie. I am hoping that she breaks up with him. Hoping. Okay. So he pulls up for a chat. He tells her, let me say my piece. Let me explain to you my reasoning. So he admits he has been telling everybody different things. He's been lying to her, and he's been saying other things to Soul and Amora. But he says since he's been a kid, he's been a people pleaser, and he's brought it into adulthood. Didn't I say he was a people pleaser? So when he says that, Melanie's listening, but Melanie gets him. She says, how are you people pleasing with Soul? You had a real connection with Soul. What did you need to people please with Soul? And he could not give her an answer, because at the end of the day, what he was saying to Soul was real. This is what Melanie is saying to him. What you were saying to Soul and how you were feeling with Soul was real. You were not people pleasing her. All he has to do is admit the fact that he had two strong connections, but realize that Melanie, after that conversation in Speakeasy, that he knew that Melanie was the one for him, not Soul. That's all he had to say, but he couldn't say that. So she says, you did it once, i.e. Soul, I took you back. You did it in Casa. You did it in Casa. I took you back. What you're saying to me, I do not believe you. Actions, 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 actions. So then she tells him straight up. She says, you know what, Sincere? Like, it's time for you to grow up. It's time for you to grow up. It's time for you to get serious. If you truly want me, like, your actions need to speak it. We get her in her confessionals, you know, and she does the same thing that she always does. She goes, you know, Sincere's a really good person. He fucked up, but he just, you know, he makes me feel good. Melanie, you are a lost cause. I don't know what to say to you. This man has continued to embarrass you. What are you gonna do when you come out the house? When you come out the villa and you go back to the real world, you see all these interviews. People are gonna be questioning you as to why you took him back so many times. You're gonna see all the comments. You're gonna see all the videos. How are you gonna deal with all of that? How are you gonna deal with all of that? I don't know. We'll see what's going to happen. What are you guys' thoughts on this episode? It was a quick one. It wasn't nothing crazy going on. Y'all let me know down below in the comment section. Subscribe if you like to subscribe. Like the video if you like the video. And I will see you guys in episode 27, which is tonight. I caught up. Bye, y'all.
That's your dose of drama for this week's reality report. The show may end, but the drama never. Catch you next time for more chaos, more tea, and more reality.